Welcome to Recollection Mall. If you were a mall rat like me or spent your formative years at the mall, then you've come to the right channel. Have you ever gone into your childhood or teenage or adulthood mall and ever wondered, I could have sworn that there was that store there? So let's take a trip down memory lane and go into the history of that mall in your home state. So stay tuned. Every Wednesday, I'll be doing a mall history of the oldest mall in every state in the US. Please subscribe and leave a comment or memory about your time at this mall. Thanks. Topeka's first mall-type shopping complex was built on a land parcel located 3.1 miles south of the Kansas State House. The 36.4-acre site had been occupied by a 9-hole golf course, which was part of the White Lakes Country Club. Construction commenced on a 500,000 square foot fully enclosed shopping center in 1963. In Topeka, the population had been growing steadily from the city's beginning in the 1860s all the way through the 1970s. Topeka's population was nearing its peak at the time White Lakes Mall was built. White Lakes Center was developed by Topeka's Keith Myers under the name of White Lakes Development Incorporated. The name of the mall originated from the White Lakes Country Club. The $8 million complex was officially dedicated on October 15, 1964. There were two anchor department stores. On the north was a two-level, 151,000 square foot Sears with an attached auto center and a garden center. Topeka's first escalator was located inside. A two-level, 154,000 square foot JCPenney, including a freestanding auto center, was one of the first new generation penny stores. James Cash Penney, JCPenney himself, attended the opening day of the mall. White Lakes tenants included Walgreen Drug, Follies Market, Town and Country Cafeteria, Jenkins Music, Pizza Hut, and an F.W. Woolworth's Five and Dime, a toy and hobby mart, as well as a Robinson Shoes. The National General Corporation Fox White Lakes Theater was dedicated on June 14, 1967. This freestanding venue was located across the street from the mall's north parking area. The mall also had a couple restaurants, including the Brass Rail, which was popular for their taco burgers. There was also a Town and Country restaurant known for their onion soup and Swiss steak. The mall also had fountains and also featured some unique animals such as squirrel monkeys, as well as an aviary full of live birds. It also had a few koi ponds in the mall as well. In September of 1972, White Lakes Center had been acquired by Southern California's Macerich Real Estate Company, primarily involved in developing smaller community-type strip centers. Macerich had now advanced to regional shopping mall management. White Lakes Mall continued growing at least through the late 1970s. One article from 1978 describes an expansion to add space for 4 more shops. Other articles around the same time describe adding kiosks to the center of the mall to have room for additional businesses. While many malls carried along doing business more or less as usual until online shopping came along around the turn of the century, White Lakes met an early demise. A new movie theater emerged with a twin cinema opening on December 22, 1977. 2 additional auditoria were added, and with a fourplex showing its first features on August 18, 1984. The complex would close in March 16, 2004. In the 1980s, the southwest part of Topeka became more populated. Under their new ownership, the complex, now officially promoted as White Lakes Mall, prospered. Then something newer, bigger, and better came along. The West Ridge Mall, which was 4.5 miles away, was completed in 1988. Upon its grand opening, it snatched the 2 anchor stores from White Lakes. In 1988, Sears closed. It was followed by JCPenney, who also closed. White Lake struggled to reinvent itself. Sears sat vacant until being leased to Kansas City's Missouri-based Sutherland's Lumber. This location opened in 1992 and then closed in 2002. The mall had changed hands in 1993. Macerich sold the property to Lawrence, Kansas-based Main Street investors, who sold it to Denver-based Triple Net Properties in March of 2000. The complex was renamed again, taking on its original moniker, the White Lake Center. The facility was now an office complex with a smattering of retail stores and services. Tenants included Walgreens Drug, Electronic Data Systems, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Kansas Children's Services League, the state of Kansas, a daycare center, fitness center, beauty salon, and several eateries. Mainline Printing leased the old Sears building in 2005. By late 2007, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the state of Kansas, Kansas Disability Determination Service, and the state of Kansas Rehabilitation Service had moved out. The complex was sold to Topeka's Kent Lindermuth in September of 2009. He proposed a redevelopment of the property, whose official name had been truncated to simply White Lakes. This project was to include demolition of the South Shopping Concourse. Exterior entranced retail and office space would be situated along a new parking area at the center of the center. Unfortunately, these plans were abandoned when Mr. Lindemuth filed for bankruptcy in November of 2012. The property was placed on the open market with an asking price of $3 million. There were no takers. White Lakes had deteriorated into a dilapidated and decaying structure with just one tenant, Mainline Printing. The virtually vacant complex was set on fire by arsonists in December of 2020, which caused over $100,000 worth of damage. The complex was soon demolished between March and October of 2022. What do you remember about this mall? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.